Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another matchup. We got Yellow Green Law versus Koala. So this is a pretty interesting matchup. If you guys haven't played this matchup yet, you're about to find out exactly what it does. So pretty much I'm playing my Yellow Green Law here, revamped with the OP12 cards. And starting it off, we're playing the Perona. I'm running the Perona over the Kid Killer Searcher. A lot of people have asked me about why I've chosen to remove the Kid Killer Searcher, even though the Kid Killer has that ability where you can trash it to restand one Dawn. I think it's better to have a one-cost Searcher, and I even prefer the one-cost Bonnie Searcher over the two-cost Kid Killer. Mainly because I think that one Dawn for Bonnie and then you rest her for another Dawn is way better, because then Bonnie can act as a blocker for you. So right here our opponent just plays a Koala, and then back to us. Play another Luffy. Luckily I saw a good amount of search this game. So for this search I'm going to go ahead and grab the 5-cost Law. 5-cost Law, they're going to be a huge part of my game plan. And moving on here, I just swing 7. So if you guys don't know what Koala does, Koala's pretty interesting here. I'm about to pull up her stats right now. Has a pretty unique leader ability. So we're going to read it right here. When this leader attacks your opponent's leader, if you have 2 or more cards with a cost of 8 or more, draw a card. My opponent swings 5 here. I take it. Plays a Hack, which is just a blocker. And once per turn, this effect can be activated when your opponent plays a character with a base cost 8 or more, or when your opponent plays a character using a character effect. Your opponent adds 1 card from the top of their life to their hand. So here I play the Cavendish, restand 2 Dawn, and then I'm going to swing 6 to my opponent right here. So pretty much this Koala leader prevents people from double playing or from playing 8-cost or higher characters. So my opponent here is going to block and give a 2K. And I tap 1 for the beige. Gonna hit him with the perfectly nice combo to play the Blocker Law on top of my life. Then I use Shambles, bounce beige to my hand, play the Blocker Law, activate Blocker Law ability, bounce the Luffy to hand, and let's see what I play from my hand. I play the Luffy right back, and I'm going to go ahead and look at top 5 and grab the Bonnie Searcher. So huge blunder, huge mistake that I just made right now. Did you guys catch it? This Blocker Law is gonna now force me to take my own life because of Koala's ability, right? If you play a character using a character's effect, take a card from your life and add it to your hand. I didn't know that counted for Blocker Law, so I had to pay the price right there. I did not intend to do that. I wouldn't have done it if I would have known. So yeah, you learn stuff when you're playing this game. So my opponent here plays the Karasu. Karasu right here is pretty interesting. I'll read you guys what he does. So this Karasu is going to be when attacking, if your leader is revolutionary and your opponent has 5 or more cards in their hand, your opponent trashes 1 card from their hand. It's pretty freaking good. So my opponent here just swings. I block it for free, and then back to us. So definitely didn't expect to be down in 1 life, but pretty much my game plan here now is to just heal up, rely on my blockers. It's okay. So one very important thing that I noticed here, when you're playing against certain leaders, you really need to know what the cards are in their deck. So right here, I know my opponent is going to be on 8 Dawn the following turn, and I know that koalas run the 8-cost dragon. The dragon OP12 8-cost. So if you guys don't know what it does, it's pretty much a double play. The dragon is going to let you play out another revolutionary army, cost 6 or less, from your trash. So knowing this, you know, I'm swinging into his life right here. I put the Bonnie on top of my life, so now I'm planning on freezing one of his Dawn, because if I freeze his Dawn, he's at 7 Dawn next turn, 7 active Dawn, and he can't play that dragon. You know what I mean? So it's about knowing what cards are in your opponent's deck and countering everything that he wants to do. So I play the Bonnie here. I use leader effect, leader effect to play the Bonnie, and then I freeze his Dawn, leaving him at 7. So even if he wanted to play the dragon, he cannot. Okay, so my opponent here is going to attach 1 Dawn to the Karasu, and he's going to swing 7 to lead. He's going to force me to trash a card from hand. I'm going to trash the Bonnie. And I am taking a 7 to lead, so I'm going to give a 2k, 1k. So this dude just ripped 3 cards out of my hand, which feels pretty freaking bad. You know, that Karasu is pretty freaking good. And I think on top of that, it gets a pretty high cost boost as well. So my opponent swings right here. I just take it because I feel pretty safe. I'm not really scared of what he can do. And he just ends up playing another hack and leaves 2 Dawn open. So I've officially entered my 0 life comfort zone, as I like to call it. If you guys know me, especially since playing red purple law, I've always talked about the 0 life comfort zone. You can't be afraid to go down to 0 life in this game, especially if you play a deck like yellow green law that has a bunch of blockers and a bunch of ways to still survive. So starting it off, I'm going to swing with the highest cost first. I'm going to swing 9k. Looks like my opponent counters with a event and then a 1k. All right, back to us. We are at a full 9 Dawn here. We did play the Secret Law on curve last turn, perfect 7. So here I attached 3 Dawn to Perona. You guys you're gonna want to watch this little play right here. It's pretty nice. So I want to swing with my Cavendish and maximize his ability. So in order to do that, I need to have rested Dawn first. So check what I do here. My opponent gives me a counter right there. I swing 6 to Karasu. Now that I'm slowly taking cards out of his hand, I want to direct my attacks into Karasu now, because I don't want to give my opponent any triggers or any cards. So I swing 6 with Bonnie, and then now I swing 6 again with my leader. Looks like my opponent has some 2Ks in hand. He's going to go ahead and give me the Karasu. Alright, I'm going to show you guys right now. I'm going to use leader ability, bounce the Perona to hand. The Dawn that she has active becomes rested. If you guys didn't know, now you know. So now when I swing 6 with Cavendish, it restands 2 Dawn. And my opponent is going to take this life hit right here. Okay, back to me. I'm going to tap 2 for a beige. And then I'm going to tap 2 to play out a Koshiro and trash my Bonnie. Pretty much playing 2 blockers, but not just any 2 blockers. I'm playing 2 of my best blockers, of some of the best blockers in the whole game, to be honest. Beige is going to be protecting my supernovas, sending them to life if my opponent chooses to trash them. And Koshiro is going to be protecting my cards from KO. It's going to be, it's pretty much, I put up a huge defensive wall right here. I wasn't able to finish my opponent that last turn. So I figured, hey, I have a blocker already. Let me throw another blocker and another blocker. I have a bunch of cards in hand, so I'm feeling pretty safe. So my opponent plays the Zeus here and KOs the Koshiro. And I ask him, okay, Koshiro, sounds good. You can have him. All right. And now I'm just left wondering, like, damn. Okay, he taps 4 for the Ursa Shock, which KOs one of my cards. And I ask him, are you sure you want this law? And I tapped it. And he's like, yep. So I grabbed the law and I put him on top of my life, because that is what beige does, baby. My opponent was like, wait, that's what it does? And I was like, that's what it does. And he's like, damn. So read your cards, guys. If you're playing against cards that you've never played against, read your cards. Read your opponent's cards. Make sure you read your opponent's leader so you know exactly what is going on. So my opponent didn't know what that card did right there, and you know, he sent it to my life, and we just kept playing. So now he has to do damage control. You know, he has 2 blockers on the field. He needs to get through a blocker and 2 life hits. So let's see what he does here. I think he's just gonna swing 5. Yep, swinging a little 5 to lead. Draws a card because of her ability. And we have a bunch of counter in hand, so I give the 1-cost Perona. Not really too worried about it. Then he plays another hack for 4 Dawn to wall up. Now he has 3 blockers on the field and passes. Alrighty, so now we hit our full 10 Dawn, first 10 Dawn turn of the game. So this is going to be our 5th turn of the game. Let's see if we can finish the game on turn 5. All right, it's looking good for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and just have 1 for this Luffy right here. I'm just trying to see what I could find. Gonna grab the Bonnie, 5-cost Bonnie. It's always nice. One of the strongest cards in the deck, I feel, especially against certain matchups like Shanks. You dominate Shanks against any leader where you know their curve and you know the cards that they want to, you know, play out on certain turns. Bonnie becomes super strong. So my opponent blocks here, and the hack ability, it KOs I think a 4-cost when it gets KO'd. So he KOs my beige right there. So I play the 7 Law, play the Bonnie on top of my life, and attach 1 rested Dawn to my leader. And then I'm gonna swing 7 to lead, and I'm gonna restand 2 Dawn. And he blocks with the hack and KOs my Luffy, which is not fun. And then I'm going to attach the rest of the Dawn to leader and swing 9 to lead and pass to my opponent. So playing it really safe here. You know, there's no reason for me to, you know, make rash decisions and like try to outplay myself, right? Like I have a 7 Law in hand, which is a known counter, so better for me to play the non-counter, heal a life, and, you know, prolong the game this way. So pretty much ensuring my win condition the following turn. Just different ways that you can play it, you know. My opponent swings, I give it 2k. So yeah, I mean, this matchup was pretty nice. I definitely misplayed by playing my blocker law, and you know, I paid the price for it. So if you guys don't know, now you know. Anytime you double play with your characters against Koala, you're gonna have to take a life. Don't do what I did. So this is gonna be the deck list right here. This is the deck that I'm currently running. I have a bunch of, you know, new cards in here. I feel like this is the current iteration that is working the best for me. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please go ahead and leave a like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.